Hello and welcome to part number 3. Right, lots to do within the city. Plenty of votes already in for the poll of what we should, if we had to backtrack something, what would be nice to add. So at the moment, we've got a poll running. Is it going to be the Town Hall, the Grand Emporium, the Monster Fighters, the older set, or the Lego Monorail? And there's near enough a vote for each currently. So I thought I'd update you guys as we started. The Stranger Things set is in. It is currently behind the treehouse. So that it looks rather smart, so I will show you all those little bits and pieces as people start to come in, which will be quite nice. So we'll wait until people get notified, and then we can crack on and we can see who does what. But I thought the Monster Fighters set would look quite nice next to the church with the graveyard, so I thought that would look quite smart. But we will see. So we've had a couple more votes again, so the Lego Monster Fighters is now winning, so we shall see. So I have an idea with regards to this sort of horror-esque section. I think if I was to get the lighthouse, we could recreate the fog. I thought that would look really nice. That way we would have Freddy versus Jason. You'd have the Stranger Things stuff, a fog scenario. Behind that, potentially could have been the Lego Monster Fighters house, and then you've got the church beside that if we go that way. If not, we will carry on and go around into the actual city, the other way. So, yeah, we will see. We'll see what's what and what happens as we go. But I will give you a quick show and tell as people drop in, vote, and then leaving and coming back in and doing whatever. So I will wait for a couple of people to come in, and then we can just crack on and go from there. But this is current state of play. Don't forget, this is part number 3. So just put the Stranger Things set in. I thought I'd put it to blue just so otherwise it looked lost with the green. So that's quite a nice looking set actually. So that is in from the front. Bit of trees. We added in the Freddy versus Jason. We've got all of this to tile, all of this to do. Got to figure out if this is staying here or moving back ever so slightly. We also have this that I need to add in because I thought that looked really nice as like a little camp thing. The 32 by 32, the first one, I'm going to use as a space for the lighthouse. I need to start to tile all of these roads because obviously they're not tiled. So I will start to rip them out, take the tiles off, and actually start to tile them properly. It'll be a mashup of those with the white bit in the middle, like we've done for the Batman bit over there. And I'll also use some 1x2s and 2x2s as well. And then we need to space these properly and just make sure that we are happy with the alleyway for Diagonal Alley, because that now does fit all the way back to the brickwork for the other two, which is absolutely perfect. But I just need to move them over ever so slightly. And then we've got that mess over there, which is going to be all the airport and everything like that. So that is nice and exciting. So don't be afraid to say hello, guys, as you pop in. Plenty of people voting, which is always good. Right, so I will carry on with the roads until people start to rock up, because I always go early a little bit on YouTube, because if it doesn't work properly, it takes like 5 minutes to set everything back up again. 2, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's a bit of a swine. So how many is this into the middle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How are we, Carol? How is everything? So we had a bit of a move around the other day, Carol. I don't know if you've just seen it, but I've just added in the Stranger Things set, just talking about the lighthouse. And you were correct about the Doctor Strange set. It is actually back in a sale again on the Smiths website. I checked after the live finished the other day, and yeah, it looks. We have a gap for it. We have a gap for it just here, but we've got plenty to do, plenty to tile as always. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, just need to crack on, get it done, and then just see exactly what happens and what is going to be going on. So 2, 4, 6, 7. 2 in the middle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 in the middle to get covered. But it takes a little while to notify everybody, so we'll wait until everybody else sort of rocks up and comes in, and then we will see who else is about. Have you thought any more about your assembly square, Carol? Ah, fair enough. Fair enough. Not too sure if I know what that film is. Not 100%. Not 100% sure. Get in there. Plug you back in. Yeah, we've got plenty to do, plenty to tile. So I'll start on the easiest and work my way through. Oh, amazing, amazing. Yeah, it's a where are you thinking of getting it from? Where are you thinking of getting it from? Because obviously, okay, cool. Yeah, it's a really nice set. We actually moved it. I moved mine the other day and put it down here. So we did some changes on Monday. I just went live on Monday for a little bit. It's another spontaneous one. I didn't save it, but it was just one of them. Yeah, they've got a really good giveaway purchase at the moment on the on that store. So we have put that just here. So I put the so what we've done is I got diagonal alley now going to go down the side. That was sort of a suggestion that sort of came about by mistake, angling it that way. And then what we'll do is we'll actually raise the second tier up behind the city. We put those up at the top. So we just got some different bits and pieces up there. And then the row plates where it's all white will come through, as you know. But we added this bit in because the assembly square is a base plate and a half like this one, but it just swallowed the view of everything. And then we've got all the minifigures in, which I need to add when everybody turns up. But I've got all of the Stranger Things minifigures to go in the Stranger Things bit just over there. And then we added the Freddy versus Jason figure, and there's all sorts of other bits and pieces. But yeah, the VIP gift at the moment is a real nice gift. Is it £90? I think you've got to spend. And it looks like you get given a really nice set for that as well, which is obviously always a bonus. So when they do have the good giveaways, obviously it's worth doing and getting. And also they have just done their promo, haven't they, for the new Christmas set as well, which looks rather good. So I will be maybe getting that day one, or I might pick it up from Billand. I'm not too sure because I got the reindeer set. I got 2 reindeer sets from Billand last time with a couple of other bits and pieces. So it's almost like a bit of a tradition that I get the Christmas sets from Billand. But yeah, we'll see. See, they're really nice, colourful sets. Those, yeah, they're really nice and really smart. It's just very much a case of finding where you can really put them. They wouldn't really work within here for the collection sort of type thing that we're doing here, but I think they do look really smart, and probably they're a nice build as well. There's a video from the Lego house of like different variations of all the plantation stuff, and it looks like what people can do with the same set different ways and things like that. And they just look nice on display. It's nice colours as well, isn't it? So yeah, they look nice. Yeah, look nice in there. So have you got much Lego within the household? And obviously this is an open question to everybody else. What is it you collect? What do you prefer? It takes a little while to get going on a Thursday, but fingers crossed everybody will remember it is a Thursday and YouTube will notify people all going well. Hopefully. So I am just starting to take apart all of the 16 by 32s and 16 by 16s to then start putting the actual tiles down for the road. But when other people start jumping in, we can find out exactly what we're going to do with regards to the Stranger Things sort of display, how much space we're going to leave in front of that. Are we going to have some water with it? Or should we just put water underneath it because it's obviously the upside down house? Do we... Well, I want to leave room for the lighthouse and do that as the fog display because I think that'll look really nice. If we're going sort of more horror-esque type, and the Anton's Bait Shop just works there. And then at the back, we can figure out exactly what we're going to put there. So yeah, we've got plenty to speak about, plenty to do, and there is just up there plenty of Lego news as well, which is always nice. But yeah, those bonsai trees, they always look really smart. So it's good to good to get it into the collection, and then you can just sort of figure out and do what it is from there, really. But I like them. I think they're good looking sets. Right, we need some of these. Hopefully it shouldn't, he says, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, take too long, or people start rocking up, which will be good. So just starting to put the road in. I'm going to leave the light grey on the one side to make it look like it's a little bit tatty, because that worked all right on the marble display. I pulled the airport stuff out. I think most of the pieces there. I just need to find the instructions if I can. So what's in there? Helicopter, plane. All the cars are ready to be built. We've got a couple of Speed Champion ones to be done. Joe came up with the idea of using the Sonic the Hedgehog Lego Ideas set as a backdrop to the farm, which should be different. So that shall be done. And then, yeah, we can just figure it out and see what's what. Hopefully this will look a little bit patchy, which is the idea. Yeah, I think that'll look all right. So we've got the patchy bits that we're going to put in as well, which will look okay. So also I'll do both sides. I've got some 2x2s, 1x2s, and a lot of these to put in. It should, even if I can just get 2 or 3 of these done, and then want to get this placed as well. And I think the only realistic place that we can put this is in front of the bait shop. This is an old school thing, but I think that sort of screams Friday the 13th as well. Yeah, it's all sorts, isn't it? Just add all sorts in there. But we've got, if you counted them as individual 16x16s, that'd be 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 22. So I've got a tile 22 individual ones, obviously over a period of time. But we did these sort of curves. We did them underneath the Batman bridge, and it actually came out really nice. So hopefully we can make it look just as smart as that again, and then we can see exactly what's going on. But yeah, we can do some potholes and all that sort of stuff, which is good. Yeah, I'll just do these as fast as possible, and then start getting them down. We can see a little bit of progress. That's always the nicer side. But we'll have a nice side and a rough side, so it'll almost look like one side's been completely tarted up and redone. I haven't got any grills or anything for drainage, but it doesn't matter. We can get away with that. Mr. Killian, how are we? Joker Manor is. You see it? No, that way. Oh, what is it? Behind me. Hang on. Joker Manor is over there, ready for the 66 Batman car. So Joker Manor is there. We have Stranger Things set is in, which I think looks quite smart. we've got to mess around with what water that we're going to do. Yeah, we've got some nice bits and pieces in. We've got those bits up at the top. We've got all the airport and stuff. But yeah, all good, Killian. It's all good. How is everything with you, sir? How is college kicking off for you? Oh, that's what you'd want from the past. Ah, no, okay. But what would you vote for me to add into this city? Because I think the Monster Fighters house would work well next to the police station, next door to the church. I think that would look quite smart. But obviously, I got that Joker Manor in a sale. Well happy with that. Well happy with that as a find. So, Killian, what I knew were about, but I'm not 100% sure what you saw. So I've put together the rest of the Stranger Things set best as I can. Finish that off today. I've got all the figures as well. So the figures that you hadn't seen yet because they were still in the bag was obviously Elle. So she's got her tribute to E.T. and obviously the main one from that Lego set as well. So we'll have to put him somewhere. But I thought maybe the lighthouse as a thing for the fog and as a display piece, if I can find enough bikes, all the Stranger Things cast could be pedaling away on push bikes. But I just need to figure out what we do for water and what we do for everything else. So it looks all right, doesn't it? That looks okay. I think that looks okay. Okay. Well, it's good. The set's nice as well. I will show you in a second. But yeah, the set works okay, which is nice. Obviously it's based on the Upside Down house, so it's from the original film. They only made one set. Oh, Killian, I'm assuming you picked it up. That's a big set for 25. That's not bad. That's not bad going at all. So a big old set that is. So if this is, it's a big if we agree that it would look quite cool to have the new lighthouse with this stuff, because it's all matchy, and the lighthouse would be, say, here. That lighthouse we know is in a 32 by 32, and I have two 32 by 32 spaces before it kisses the Stranger Things set. Out of the 32 by 32, how much water do we put down for a scenario with Camp Crystal Lake, or are we just using the treehouse as the Camp Crystal Lake bit because it's got the water at the front? The bait shot will be something else. We can put some roads down. Strange Things will be Stranger Things. Lighthouse will be the fog, and then we can just sort of make it very pop culture-esque with regards to all of that stuff. So what would you guys and girls like? And if you've got any favorite films for anybody that is watching that you think would work as more of a scary character side rather than the super side, then I think that's where we will that's where we'll put them, I think. Oh, amazing. Well, just take some pictures for me, Killian. I'd like to see them. I know the Grand Hotel. That's a big set. And just to plug my own video, the 10 years of Lego Friends history video went live a couple of days ago, and that's every single set I think done over the last 10 years or there or thereabouts. So yeah, I did sort of soak in some of them. The sets that they do with regards to like the theme park side of stuff, I've always found very, very good. It's just I don't like the figures that they come with, but obviously you can you can change the figures, can't you? So it's not too bad. Yeah, there's plenty of sets of those available. But Carol's saying that she will be getting the Assembly Squares set, which is good. I was just catching a up to speed with everything else that we are doing. But yes, the tiling has begun with regards to these modulars. I need to move those modulars over, and then just make sure that the alleyway is in the right place, which I think it is. To be honest, I think it will look smart. I think it will look smart there. Yeah, I think the sets are beautifully colourful. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of the figures. I kind of makes sense why they kind of did it differently. But at the same time, paper's just starting to fall down. Joe be happy. But then at the same time, maybe I don't know if they could have just got away with having minifigures, because the internals of the sets do take both sides, don't they? Because I've got the I suppose maybe because the animals are bigger, so it's all in proportion, isn't it? Because the cats, it's all slightly bigger. If the age demographic's slightly younger, then again it kind of makes sense. So, yeah, not a fan of the figs. Very big fan of the colours of the sets. Actually, like the monkey, it's kind of similar to the Monkey Kid figures as well. Also, the Monkey Kid sets, they're very, very bright and vibrant, aren't they? So they're nice. But anybody's thoughts on the new Christmas set that's come out? Or be coming out? Is it the 6th of October? Which would have been the day I was supposed to be going to Billund. Really annoying. So I could have picked it up from there on day one. It's a guarantee they'll do a giveaway purchase with it. So yeah, I know the ones you mean. They were, you mean like the taller, like the bigger Technic figures. They had the all-in-one race suits, didn't they? They were bizarre looking things. They really were odd. Yeah, there's some what is that? The big Bugatti. They've got the new Ferrari they've just installed at Legoland, Florida. I think it's Florida. It might be New York. One or the other. One of them in America. I haven't managed to track down the Lambo, but the Bugatti is in Windsor. So yeah, the big blue Bugatti, like the life size sort of thing. It's an amazing thing to actually visibly see. Yeah, it's a special bit of kit, but I would imagine technically somewhere. Yeah, it's it. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's a very impressive looking thing. Hopefully what they'll do is, as they release more and more of these big Technic cars, they will only have one of these big Technic cars per park. So it's just another good excuse to go to the Legoland and just see exactly what it's all about. Yeah, they've got some fantastic stuff that they can do from Lego and Technic. It's amazing how they can just transport it, because it's not a massive Star Wars guy, as you guys soon figured out when I started to build the UCS set and then just binned it off. But the walkthrough display that they had at Legoland Windsor and the scale of those things were absolutely nuts. It was so impressive to look at. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure where the green Lambo is. They must have done one. I'm sure they would have done one. It would kind of make sense if it was at the water park in Italy at the shop, but I don't know where that one is. No, it was all right. No, it was okay. So yeah, it wasn't horrendous. But yeah, the big block of cheese and the Falcon gone. But you can see we kept the Kept the canteen up at the top, so that is up there. All the figures are with it, so yeah, it's not too bad. Doing these one by one takes forever, but it does look nice when you put them down. So we're getting there slowly. Okay. It's in Canada, is it? Because the new Ferrari is out in the States. And it's bugging me where it is. I want to say Florida, but it could be New York. Because some of the parks do have in their driving. It's bizarre because Windsor do theirs completely backwards to everybody else, as we do in the UK. Why they do that, I don't know. But the driving schools over there, similar with Dubai, they've got like a Ford driving school and some other bits and pieces. But in everywhere else around the world, apart from the UK, they have a big Lego City shop where you can walk in, and it sells all of the Speed Champion sets, and then it has the big car which you can have your photograph with. They don't do that at Windsor. They've got it dotted around elsewhere. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see because Lego's thrown some massive curveballs out this year with regards to sets and stuff. Like some of the sets I wasn't expecting. They've been really, really good. Okay. I have to have a hunt down and just see, because they won't have the massive massive one there. I just wonder where that one would be. But no, it'd be interesting to find it, because I don't know where the others are, because I don't think they did the orange. I don't think they did the orange Porsche. So I think that was I think the Bugatti was the first one that kicked it all off. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the new modular is going to be this year, because they've released. I think they've come out early with the new Christmas set. I'm sure they didn't usually show that off until this time in October, because I thought it was coming out like the 1st of December, which means the new UCS Batman will be coming out sooner rather than, well, the photos, so that will be coming out soon. It's got to be the big 66. It's got to be. That would look amazing, to be honest. Because obviously they've re-released the ton, but it's bizarre that every single Batman car is available. I just need to get the small 66 to put in front of the Joker Manor, and then that's that done. But yeah, they've got some nice bits out and ready. But yeah, I need to know, guys and girls, from everybody that is watching this back, how much space do I give outside the front of the Stranger Things? Do we use the platform for the Stranger Things for the display? Do we just have the Stranger Things crew cycling around the city rather than it being by the upside down house, and then we just put some horror figures by the upside down house instead? It's a good price point, though. I think the pieces are thereabouts the same, but obviously it's just three individual things, but it's very different, which is quite nice. Obviously people go mad and want to power it all up and then spend an absolute fortune. But if you go on the Lego website and actually go to new releases or coming soon, all the pricing structure and all the piece countdowns on there, and it looks nice. Because the Winter Village sets have always been a little bit smaller than all the others. They're sort of in between. They're like a little bit bigger than the 3-in-1s, but obviously nowhere near like the modulars. So they're a slightly different size. But I think the price point's good, considering obviously the price of a lot of stuff. But yeah, they have a better look at the minifigures. But so far, you'll be able to get that set and the big Christmas tree, won't you? So that's obviously a nice thing. Is that the Lambo HQ? Well, I'm not going to be able to get there, am I? I thought it'd be over in Italy. Well, they obviously they release one Winter Village set per year, and it's my favourite theme. So I've said if I got told that I was only, if I only had space for one, or had to sell everything and just keep one thing, any of this would go straight away. It'd be hard to say goodbye to one or two of the sets because of obviously the memories that you have with them. But I've also got fantastic memories with the Winter Village stuff, so that doesn't matter. And I think they look absolutely fantastic. Oh, I wonder if I can ring up Lamborghini and be like, can I have a tour of your factory? I want to see this new, I don't actually want to buy a Lambo. I just want to see the Saiyan that you've got. I'm sure they'll tell me to get stuffed in Italian. Pretty sure. Nearly there. Nearly there. I put them on shelves in my room. I don't put them up here, so I just have them. I just have them on, long shelves side by side. Put all the Christmas minifigures that I've got with them, and just try and make up really nice Christmassy displays. So I'm only missing a couple. I'm missing the Santa's Workshop. I'm missing the cottage. And then the one that a lot of people slept on was the village market thing. But all of them were out before I started to collect them. I backtracked a few of them, but I couldn't get them because some of them are just too expensive. But I've got them literally down there where that towel is. There's clear boxes stacked, and all the sets are built in there. I've got a spare reindeer set and sleigh because I didn't get around to building both of them last year. But I've got another one of them to build, and then I'll be getting the Christmas tree and getting this new one. So I just think they look really nice. It's one of those that they just display really well, and obviously they've all got the lights with them as well, so you can just push the button down, and they all light up nicely, which is always nice to see. So if you are a Christmassy person, they are the ones for you. Oh, we are almost there. This is the one. I'll put this outside the front of the diner. Are we going to put outside the front of the diner? We're going to have the one on the left or the one on the right outside the front of the diner? The Santa's house is nice. They've got the Elf Workshop that I picked up. Yeah, I think the Santa's house is the one that comes with a reindeer and sleigh as well. Yeah, the little there's some really nice stuff out and about, but I think it's a good price point, so it's not that bad. So be interesting to see how they scale with all the others, as long as I've got the height, because I have got the toy shop, so hopefully it's near enough the same scale as that. I've got the old bakery and things, so fingers crossed they'll look really smart beside them. But it's always well anticipated for me. I always look forward to the new modular every year and the new Lego set every year, so it's always nice to see them. All right, I've got a row and a half to go. This is going to go down, then we can put the cars on it, which would be nice. And then we'll go outside the front of the Stranger Things. I was hoping Mr. JD would be here because he would like the new set. I think it's 79 or 89. So yeah, it's not bad for what you get. And the new tram that comes with it looks smart, because obviously a lot of people will end up motorizing that. That's how they're going to make the money. They're going to make the money with powering the track and everything up. You don't need to, do you? It just needs a display piece, but you will have the opportunity to make a circular track underneath your Christmas tree, have it powered up and moving around continuously. But I did get the Winter Village station last year, and I've got the train from a while back, so it's all good. They are always, release date is the 1st of January, but when they're going to be teased, it could be I would imagine it's usually between the Christmas and New Year period. But yeah, it always comes out on January the 1st. That is the big thing they do to kick off the start of the year. But then it might be, I can't see it being different this year, but when they're going to start teasing everything. You got on the Lego store, dude, it might give you the price in your currency, but they don't deliver to you, do they? That's a bit naughty, isn't it? Yeah, better start saving. Yeah, save those pennies up. Yeah, because whatever it is will look nice next to the assembly square. But we had this massive conversation. It's very much a case of I will only buy. I haven't actually got anything this year. I haven't got the new modular or anything this year yet. It's very much a case of I will only buy something if I can actually put it into the city to display. Because obviously they were releasing so much, and some people were moaning that they can't. They wanted everything. It's like, why would you? So I'm sticking to anything that will go within the city display. And now we've got sort of this horror-esque section, which is pretty cool. So it allowed me to get the lighthouse. But then it's basically, I just need to get one modular and any theme park stuff that comes out. And then obviously that'll be the theme parks one every 2 or 3 years and the modulars every year. So it just means that you can move bits about, mainly the minifigures. Yeah, it does get addictive, but you've just got to stick to your guns, sort of stick to a theme that you like, and go from there. Because obviously all the modulars are the same size scale, and they've got the pins on the side where they all connect together. So you could just put them on a shelf in a straight line if you didn't have that much space. They all come with nice minifigures and things. But like I said, the Winter Village stuff always looks beautiful. Like they've got a push down light, so you can hold on to it and they'll light up. There's 2 sets available currently still, which is I think the gingerbread house, which is amazing. That's one of the best sets they've done in years, that set. And then the winter house, isn't it? The blue house that's just come out. Yeah, you start questioning everything. But yeah, that's 66. Oh, that's a lie. I have got something. I picked up the tumbler and things, didn't I? I caved recently. I got the tumbler and those Speed Champion things. But yeah, big sets. I haven't got anything since last November was when I got a bigger set. That was it. But yeah, it will get addictive, but it's very much a case of, like, for Killian, I would imagine, not speaking for him, but would probably prefer getting a load of bricks and then building mocks, whereas some people will do what I've kind of done. This is the kind of stuff that I enjoy doing, just like putting this kind of stuff. I would much rather people build sets for me, and then I can just make it look la-di-da. So we'll put this one outside the front of the diner, put the cars on the front and see what that looks like. And then that'll be the first one of a few done. But I think that looks quite nice. Like that. I know it's half and half. The rest of the roads will be like that, only because of the tiles that we've got left. Just was me and Carol saying about that at the start. It's obviously just not selling at that amount of money. It's far too much money. So they know. But it is even cheaper at Costco. So it is cheaper. It is cheaper at Costco. But I think that looks okay. If you want mocks, it's just a case of obviously buy the pieces, and that goes like that. Yeah, you got to have hauls of random stuff, haven't you? But I just don't have the skill nor the patience to do any of that sort of stuff. So, right, so this is the first bit kind of officially down and done. I think the road looks okay. Obviously, that is the next one that we need to get sorted. But yeah, I think that looks think that looks all right. This one's going to be a bit more. I might not do that one next. That might be a bit more tricky. I'm going to have to go across and through, which is going to suck. I better do that next one. I'm thinking about it. Yes, indeed, Mr. JD. Stranger Things set is in. You've just come at completely the right time, and I know you're on a tight schedule. I've just put down and completed the first road plate outside the front of the diner. Carol and Killian are in. That is the first road plate, which I think has come out quite nice. Something a little bit different. So we'll have the whole city basically looking really smart with these, and then a little bit patchy if need be with any bits and pieces that I can find. But I'm now, you guys are all kind of here with regards to, obviously there's plenty of people missing tonight, but I know Jay's on a tight time schedule. I will grab a drink. I'll stop tiling for a second, which would be fantastic. I need to get on with the horror bit, but I have this. Now, this was on the shelf that I took down. This was actually by the Winnie the Pooh set and things like that. Now, this is a really cool cabin, obviously, which to me screams any sort of horror film ever. And the other idea that I've got, Jay, which hopefully you agree with me on this one, is the 6-inch net raw. Yeah, well, you have to fill me in on that. I'll try and play catch up after this one finishes. I want to do the new lighthouse. There we go. I want to do the lighthouse as the fog. So has anybody seen the Fog film? And it's a classic John Carpenter, which means quite a lot to me and Jay. And if you are a John Carpenter fan, I think that we could, with that new lighthouse, we could make a serious display parallel to the Stranger Things. Now, Stranger Things set is actually longer than I thought it was, but we still can fit the church in, so that's absolutely splendid. And the pole that is running currently at the top, I personally hope the Monster Fighters house wins, to be honest, because I think that would be the best one, because it's an abandoned building, and I can put that beside the police station, put that beside the church. That's personally what I think. Oh, amazing. Yeah, absolutely. So let me show all of you this. Now we've got Jason's cabin. Now I think Jason's cabin is going to have to go right at the front, potentially side on, which is absolutely fine. So we could bring those two over and we can do some bits and pieces in there. Now, Jay, you can see, and everybody else, you can see the Stranger Things set behind it. I've put the blue on show just so it actually stands out, because the green merged with the green leaves, but you can see it is a little bit lengthy, but it will just finish in front of the church, so that's absolutely fine. Now, depending on the cabin that is now being called, do like that. I think I've done an all right job on that. I'll add some cars in a second, and yeah, anyway, this, we've got 32 by 32 and another 32 by 32 that can go behind the fish bit as such. And then I think what we'll do is we just do a walkway to the church. I think that's the easiest way. And then you've got the graveyard and everything in front of it, so that will work. But if we put in the lighthouse, we can figure out where it wants to go. So we could potentially put it in the middle like that, and then we could have something like that, which is fine. But as the lighthouse isn't here, but we could potentially add some water in. Do we say the lighthouse is going to go smack in the middle? Do we just put some water here? And do we put Jason's cabin? And if so, we've got to push that other one back. So that is something that I would like to. The upside down bits on top. Yeah. It's expensive, but it's just, I want to leave space for it. So if we think that will work, I will just keep a 32 by 32 base plate there, and then when it goes to Smiths and goes into a sale, because all of this, it's once it's in, it's not going to be a case, it's not going to be easy to go, oh, we'll just add that in. It won't work like that, because once the church and everything's in and all the other base plates are down, there'll be literally no space. Zombie part, yeah. What for the fog? Yeah. Oh yeah, well, we've got I've got some zombie pirates already with some peg legs and stuff, so we can make it work. But the first thing is, do we put this cabin in, everybody? And I also have the graveyard gates that I've salvaged, so we could put them in there somewhere as well. So if you are a horror fan, Carol and Killian, then obviously get involved. And the Stranger Things house is on the upside down, which is perfect. I only built a couple of bags. Actually, it had already been started, so I was okay. I have found the black bike came with the Stranger Things set. Now I have been pulling out a couple more of these push bikes. I think I've got another 2 or 3 lying around. Do we just have the Stranger Things cast on the bikes away from this display? We could have the police car then in the city, and then the actual Stranger Things house could be used for something else. Well, if we're going to have Jason through this cabin, obviously we're going to need to move him away. So let me start off by actually placing this then. So I can stop doing the tiling, which is great. I won't need to climb any of it. Well, I've got a couple of bikes, so they could just be randomly cycling somewhere, couldn't they? I know they do love their push bikes. Now the cabin will have to go at the front, and there is a little bit of water. It's quite nice actually. You've got campfires, some turkey legs, you've got a little bit of a tree and whatever else. And because the front of the bait shop is sand, which I won't use, and you can still see the door, I can have them literally touching each other, which is splendid. Here we go. Nice. Yeah, the James Bond car would work now. That would just be randomly within the city. So, do we have that at the front, just like that? Then behind it, you've got the bait shop, which you can see absolutely fine. We can decorate this. We'll call it Killian's fashion, because he does like a bit of splatter. I think what we should do is just block this. Basically, the tables is just completely different. So we have obviously plenty of space still behind for lighthouse water. We've got to figure out what we're going to do with the Strange Things bit, and also we know what we're going to do with that corner. But I think we just need to start front to back. They do the like I said to everybody, the camper van. I thought the actual the new camper van that they do, I thought would look quite nice parked under the Stranger Things bit, and it just looked like it's been abandoned. So I think that looked quite smart. I think this looks better forward, because if I could put it to the side and have the bait shop facing in. I could spin this sideways, but then I don't know what that would, if that works. I don't know if it's better to have it, because if I had it side on like that, you would see more of the fish shop. Here we go. Carol's getting involved. So, because we are all very, very sick-minded, what I got, Carol, is I have got a load of red brake lights, which we use for splatter, and a load of red crystals that we use. Here they are. that we have used for blood dangling down. So we need to basically find out who we're going to use for the campers. Which way do we place this first? And then we can go from there. So I suppose if I can find a leather face, we could add a leather face to the display as well. I'm just plugging you back in because I don't know what the battery's like on the phone. But yes, we have stuff that you can do. The problem is the bit at the back will be the church, Killian. So literally this side, it's treehouse, and then you've got Stranger Things, and then the last bit is the church. So I can't really put the treehouse anywhere else. So that's the only other thing. Because again, with the space, because these sets are large, we've just got to be clever with how we do it. So you can see from the table that you've got a 1632. The police car's on another 16, but then that is quite long, and then it would be 32 walkway, because once this gets pushed back a little bit, and obviously this is touching at the moment, so we can push that back. We're not going to have that much space because these are literally touching at the top. That's why I switched it over to blue. But yeah, we can start on this cabin. I can bring Jason over. We can add in all of that stuff and go from there. So it's just a case of what do we do with the cabin, and which way is the cabin going to be facing first? And I mean, we could have the cabin and the treehouse on the same side, potentially. Because the Stranger Things set doesn't have to be lengthways. I could swap it round. Yeah, could do. But then you're going to have the same kind of problem because the Stranger Things set is almost identical heights. It's skinnier, but you're not gonna see it as much. And then if we're taking the tree houses away, which is obviously part of the Friday the 13th bit, then this kind of won't. Well, I mean, I can move it so we can see. Obviously, I don't mind moving the bits and pieces, so we might as well try it. Or we bring the Stranger Things round. Well, the plan was the church wasn't really going to. It was going to be at the back, but it was going to be dissected up after the water, because the treehouse was originally supposed to be part of the Camp Crystal Lake display. So we can't really have one at the back of the table, then the water, then the Stranger Things, and this. It's sort of, they need to be relatively close together. Like where the end of the Stranger Things is currently will basically be where a load of trees and forestation will go to then go into the graveyard, and then beside the graveyard we'll just have like another modular, so it will allow that to be. But we can rotate these around. Yeah, we can rotate them around. I'll swap the treehouse with the Stranger Things set to start with, and if that doesn't work, I can then just rotate the Stranger Things set in. But then obviously we've got to remember that if we want the lighthouse to go in, we've just got to play with that 32 by 32 base as well. So if I have that there, so you can see everything that's going on. Yeah, because the back bit for the church is going to be almost a mix of the last bit of the city and the first bit of this sort of crazy, weird and wonderful display that we're doing. So that is that. I think it looks weird myself, to be honest. I think there's now just too much gap unless we can sort of space it better. Not too sure with that, to be honest. What do you think? Like up there, it looks really nice. But then because you've got this massive gap underneath, if we can figure out what we can do underneath the piece, then I think that could potentially work. And then we are then 32 and a 16. So we've lost a 16 by 16 basically pulling it there. And obviously it is still touching. But what do you think? Because that's what it looks like currently. So it's a very odd set, this Stranger Things, because it's not much to it. That makes sense. I mean, if I could try and twist it, I can try and twist it round, and then maybe have just like water and stuff going underneath it. It's just quite lengthy but narrow. It's just odd. Because the building's not that deep either. So yeah, it's a strange one. No, it's hard to see, isn't it, until it moves. So I'll switch it back, which is absolutely fine. If I switch it back, do we have this one side on, and then make a display in front of it? So do we have that like that? Or should we keep that forward? Because what we could always say and do is like each one of these buildings could just have its own complete separate display, and the only thing that links it together would just be a dirt path, which would be that'd be simple enough to do. So Stranger Things back, treehouse to bait shop to Stranger Things. Hang on. So put the Stranger Things set back, then put the bait shop where the treehouse was, and put the treehouse was where the bait shop was. Yeah, so I think that's what you mean. I will try it, sir, without dropping it. I will try it. All right, because that didn't work. It was better the first way, so we'll put that back. Killian's gone for the layers. I can see what Killian's gone for. I can see what Killian's gone for, and I think that works. Okay, I can see what you've done, Killian, with that, and yeah, I can see what you've done because it's sort of layered a little bit, and with these two in front of each other, they can be touching, can't they? And then you've got water on water as well. I'll bring the Stranger Things back to where it was, because that worked where that Stranger Things was. So that would just be like that, and pulled all the way back. So this can actually face any way it wants to go. So visually, I know you can't see it from there, but visually you can really easily see the Stranger Things. You can see the gap that we've got. So that's pushed to the end. That's pushed to the end. So if I was, say, for example, to make it all fancy la-di-da, blah, 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 and you're away. No idea, Jay. No idea. There'll be boxes anyway. I've got my shorts rolled up, so I don't know. But yeah, so that's what that looks like. So well done, Killian, for that. Well done. Right, so I've got to try and get the views up somehow, like just get it all on show. Well, this is what we're saying at the start. So where we've got the Stranger Things house, where that is now, we've got two 32 by 32s. So we can either have a 32 by 32 for the lighthouse, which is obviously what I want. I want to leave that there, which would be absolutely fine. And then we had 16 by 16 and two 16 by 16s. So we can either have water lighthouse display in front of the Stranger Things, or we can have lighthouse water display in front of the Stranger Things. So it's how we wanted to configure it, basically. We can either have water underneath the Stranger Things set and just have nothing else there. That's right, Killian, don't worry. Yeah, I think that's the best way. I think that's nailed, that one. So yeah, I think that's like the best way to do it, because they can be close together. So it just steps up into the treehouse. I can see the swing, the campfire, and everything absolutely fine. So I think that looks quite nice. I mean, I can spin the treehouse round if need be. I don't know if that's visually going to make much of a difference. Because we've got the steps on the one side. I'm not too sure if it really matters, does it? Yeah, so that would be where the so we've got all these options basically, because of how it is. We've got two 32 by 32s in the middle zone, which can be a mix of water and whatever. Now, because of these sets, both these sets actually do have water. Not that it's, people are going to care too much, but we can. If I was to keep it this side, for example, we have got water to water. I know it's old school water, which I can tile, and then we've got new school water, and then we've got this. I don't know whether to have the swing on the side, which I think would look quite smart. So I think probably the best way to have this is that way, because you've got the swing on the side, and the water still connects, which is absolutely fine. And then from there, we make the Jason display. We can put whatever we want up in that. But yeah, so you can see I've got a light. I can't really see very well. It's got the lights reflecting, but let me move over. So the space that we have got directly behind that is from there. So that, as it stands, that narrow bit there is the walkway and all trees and shrubs to the church. I can't do anything else about that because that's the way we've got this now. You can see that we've got two 16 by 16s on that side. So that can be whatever it wants to be, or it's the lighthouse and we just push it all the way over, and then that's the rockery for the lighthouse. So it's either something lighthouse, something. So the lighthouse does have water, so we can obviously do that. Mr. Lego King, how are we? But yeah, we could under the Stranger Things set have the grass and all that sort of stuff there as well. So that would work. I know Jay wants his water fetish, or what about, Jay, if we have the water at the front so we can actually see it, rather than bringing the car that low back because of the angle that we've got? So could we have the water? All right, dude, no problem. Keep us up to date. How you getting on? So I don't know whether this bit here we actually have as water, and then the water finishes on that corner there, and then we add the vehicles further up. The other thing that I was thinking of doing, Jay, and this is obviously open to everybody else, is this sort of thing where I put brown and water within, so that it looks like the water's trickling in the mud. So we've still got plenty of water, but it means the cars can stand on there. So that way I can still bring like this caravan car, which I've just moved, which you now can't see, to the front. So that could be like that. The only thing with the Anton's bait shop at that angle is the door's on the wrong side. So we might actually have to spin that set around like that. So we could have it that way, or does it look better front on? Well, I don't know where you want the lake, Jay. This is the only thing with what we're doing. I don't know where you want the lake. I mean, we've got water, so we can obviously we can just put a little bit of water down. But if we're going to have the display here at the front for the Friday the 13th, which is obviously going to be all, I'm going to add a load of blood splatter on there and heads rolling and whatever else. If we're going to need vehicles down by the cabin. So I don't know whether to have mud and water, and then behind the tree there, where it might not fit anything, have water by the lighthouse, because the lighthouse obviously has water around it already. So that's like two birds with one stone in that bit. Well, the bait shop's actually on a sand base, isn't it? It's meant for the city. I'm surprised that it didn't actually come on a blue base, but it's actually on a sand base. So I'm not too sure whether to actually water tile all of that or not. Because obviously we need to put a load of figures down, and we need to put some vehicles and things down as well. And we've also got the Stranger Things vehicle, which I guess actually now could just be parked underneath the Stranger Things set amongst all the trees. So that could work. Well, we can't. So this very much depends on the system that you guys want to do. So you only have the only space that we have available to us now, minus the sets and where this vehicle is here, is you've got two 32 by 32 base plates, plus the space that's underneath the Stranger Things bit. But if we've got this car and caravan, that car and caravan surely needs to be by the treehouse in this cabin. So it all depends if we're having this as one big display, or if each set is its own display. So like the cabins, obviously we said it's going to be Jason's cabin. We'll make that all bloody, gory, whatever else. Do we then just have another completely different display for this fish shop? Did the Stranger Things have a completely different display? Behind it, we've then got I'm going to get the lighthouse. I want the lighthouse behind it, but that has water all the way around it. So we could just extend the water by 16 by 16 base plate, and then we'll have like a big lake / thing by the lighthouse instead. Because as it stands now, this set, it's touching the treehouse, which is then touching the 32 base plate behind it, which then leaves us 6 studs of a walkway to get to the church. So like the length of the table's taken. So it all depends what we do in that middle section from the front of the Stranger Things across. So, and that needs to be thought of now. It can't be thought of in further down. Well, yeah, I think it is. I think that works. So if it is a full sort of mashup, then we're going to have maybe the front of it's going to need to be like a muddy path, and then the bit further back will then need to be where the lighthouse is and everything. We could have the water, and then we could have, I think, another vehicle in the long grass, which is on sale at Asda for like £9, which is the camper van, because it comes with the people and the baby, and it comes with a couple of bits and pieces. That can all be overgrown. See you later, Lego King. Enjoy your evening. So that would work nicely, because it doesn't need many vehicles, obviously, but they do have, in Friday the 13th, they have 3, don't they? They have the cop car, and then the 2 cars that they go off and get drunk with. So if we can have the Friday the 13th cop car by the Stranger Things set, this car and the caravan, say muddy tiled, that could work. And then the camper van beside the Hopper cop car side by side, I think that would work. And then we can add in the water. So if I give you the aerial view again, just so you guys know what I'm going on about, because we're going to be struggling for space basically, but you can see that is the 16 by 16. Everybody on the left hand side could be water, lighthouse, and then underneath could be long grass, car, camper van, and then where the end of that 32 by 32 is the start of the graveyard and the church. And then that teeny tiny gap here, where that white bit is the walkway. That's it. That's all you've got. So you've only got that space there to get you to the church. That's all you've got. Well, they do, but obviously that's off the beaten track, though, isn't it? So that's the thing. We've got the garage, which has the petrol pump in it, so we could set up some weird locals there, because don't forget, this petrol station here now can be used for multiple things. We can either put Michael Myers there, we could do whatever we want there. So yeah, we've got options, but it's just a case of utilizing this space that we've got as best as possible, because obviously we've added in the Stranger Things set, and it just happens to fit by fluke, which is fantastic. I don't know if the bait shop works better side on, or if we should just have it facing forward. I don't know what do you guys and girls want? Yeah, exactly. That's just going to, it'll be perfect, because it's not meant for cars. It's just going to get you to the church because basically it goes past an abandoned building, which is why I'm hoping the Monster Fighter thing wins, because that is just an abandoned horror building. It's all boarded up. The windows are all boarded up. And then beside it, we can have this church. So the back end will look really smart. And then the graveyard and area, we'll put all the trees and stuff. And then in front of that, it'll be water, mud, and then just this sort of campy display. So yeah, that works. That works out to be absolutely fine. So it fits just, obviously we can't have it as a car thing, but as a walkway, I can obviously put these circular bits down, and it will do the trick. So that's absolutely fine. But yeah, it's just a case of, is that all right sideways, or do we want that facing forward? I don't really think it matters too much which way we have it. I don't know if does it look more visually pleasing forward or side on? All right, dude, not a problem at all. You take it easy. I'm going to start with this, and I'll put the Friday the 13th. Actually, do I do that, or should I just carry on tying? I know you guys are fussy, so if I bring him forward to remind me, that's what I'm going to do. And then I might just carry on tying, because I think everybody's just going to be in and out. Killian's going to be to and from. We've already been on an hour and 15. I was going to get going at 8 o'clock anyway, so we've only got about 20 minutes. I can get all the tiles and everything for that, and then we can figure out where we're going to put the Stranger Things. So yeah, I'll do that. So we'll move on to the next one. this will need to, we're making the, where did I put it? Where did I put that? Yeah, you got any ideas, Carol? Shout them out. Shout them out. But yeah, I think underneath the Stranger Things set would work well for a load of trees around the vehicles, and we can make it look like those cars are abandoned, and we can have one police car, and we can have the camper van. I say camper van, it is a camper van. So that looks smart. Tile underneath there, so that look okay. We can do something. The bait shot will just work well with the lighthouse behind it. That'll just look smart. So that'll be absolutely fine. It's just, I think once the lighthouse goes in, we can then add some sort of lake and river. I don't know whether, if I've actually got the, oh, there. That's what I wanted. I wanted that one. I wanted that one. I don't know if I have, and if I can, and if they fit. That's just not quite wide enough. So that might be an odd. Oh dear, they're not a 16 by 16 either. I wonder if I could actually add in the water and mud. I can put that car on. That look quite nice to do. Wow. This is where it's going to get a little bit tricky, because I guess the table isn't big enough for. I can't tuck these in. I'm not going to cut them either. I am off by 3 studs, Carol. But we have the gap. Oh, it's all right, don't worry. I'm talking nonsense. We're not off by 3 studs. I can fit that in. I can do that, because what I'll do is I will make this display wider, because where this one is, we have the gap on this side. So that's not a problem. So it can just be touching and kissing, which is ideal. So that can stay like that. I think the one underneath the treehouse will have to be different, because it's an odd shape. Not a problem, Killian. Appreciate you being in here, fella. I'll keep this one live, so if you get bored, you can watch this one. You can watch this one back. I think all I'm going to try and do this evening is tile, maybe put like a muddy, puddly bit to the Camp Crystal Lake. I won't do Jason's house without anybody, because I know you guys want to make that as bloody and gory as possible. So we'll wait for everybody to come back, because obviously Saturday's missing, and there are a couple of other people are as well. So I don't want to do that without everybody. But yeah, I'm just in the loft. Yeah. I am going to need some more 16 by 16s. Now, do I do this on a smaller scale first? Carol, what do you think I should use? Do you think I should use 1x2s? Or should I use these circular bits for the path? Not a problem, Carol. See you later. Like I said, it's only a short and swift one. I'll only be on for around another 15 minutes. So it's usually 6:30 till 8, and then unless the next sort of wave of people come in. But thank you for dropping in and dropping by. I will have a little play as a trial and error. It has to be individual. Oh, that's annoying. That one it is then. let's see what this looks like. We'll see what this looks like. So muddy water to start with, and then the lake will be behind it, of some description. It's annoying because we could have recreated the Freddy versus Jason thing when they're on the bit, but can't really do that if we're going to be using this, unless we just have absolute mass destruction off all the trees and the water. If I could get some red, that's why I want some red translucent tiles on the blue. That would look really nice. And then we could actually put him as a character somewhere else. But let's see what this looks like. Because if I can just sort of mangle this up, we can then see what is what. With everything. I can't have any of the ripples in because it needs to be flat. Behave. Right. Can we do something like that? Like a muddy sort of thing. That needs to be a perfect flow or not? Don't the stepping those circular bits work? That doesn't look good. The water and the brown don't look too bad, but I'm not too sure if the circle bits work. An odd splatter of water doesn't look too bad. I will show you all in a second. I redo. Yeah, that's better. I don't think those circular bits work. That one's gone. That one definitely doesn't work. So I do more that sort of thing. I think that will work more as a pattern. I'll just have them kind of dotted all over the place. And then fill in the gaps, which is always exciting. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can put the car back on, see what that looks like, and then 10 minutes and I'll be done. Amazing. Splendid, splendid, splendid. Right. Yeah, I think once we've filled in all the gaps on that, I think that might look okay. I don't know whether that has any plantation in or not. I don't think it really It really needs it. Not with what we're going for. Yep. Yeah, that'll work. I can see that working. Amazing. So I'll get this one finished quickly, and that'll be that done for this evening. And then next time, so I might carry on with the row plates off the lives. And then we can carry on figuring out what we're going to do with regards to making this look all watery and muddy and whatever else. Yeah. The lighthouse will work well. Yeah, we can do them. Like I said, I'm not going to do Jason's cabin without everybody that loves Friday the 13th without it. The lighthouse can be got when it's in a massive sale because it's stupidly expensive. Come on. We're getting there. Getting there. Get how long it takes with 1x2s. If these were 2x2s, it'd been done ages ago, but they're not. Slowly getting there. Hopefully there's enough puddly water in there. I don't think it needs to be, the water needs to be connected, not this far out. It just needs to be more muddy puddles than anything else. See if I can find some translucent reds. We could have had the blood going down the stream. Maybe that would look quite nice coming in the dark blue that we've got beside that little Jason's cabin. It's a shame these aren't actually darker brown, but can't do anything about it. 5 more. Come on. Nearly there. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. That's the first one done. So we'll see what it looks like. I think that went just like that. It fits. The next one needs to be a bit more custom, but it does mean you can have a car on it. And it kind of works. Kind of. So yeah, we're kind of there. Right, dudes and girls, that is me done. So just a quick, I said quick one, still an hour and a half. So we'll do this side of stuff together next week. So if you are watching this back, let us know in the comments below what ideas you've got. I think this can wrap around as a bit of a muddy trail. The muddy trail can then finish to Killian's idea of having the, everybody's idea really, of having the cars underneath the Stranger Things bit. We can have it all green. I can put all the plantation down with a load of trees. So I could just potentially use something like that to go underneath there. leave a 32 by 32 base plate placed for the lighthouse and some water behind that pathway church. Perfect. And then I then also need to crack on making more of these to go all the way around the new city. So how many does I need to do? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and lots. Yeah, lots. So that can be done over a long period of time as well. But that is it. I am done. I will imagine I won't be back on live until maybe this time next week. I might try and get in 1 or 2 more maybe next week, because it's good fun doing all of this, and we've got so much more to do on that side. But that's it. Done and done. Guys, as always, thanks very much for watching. And I hope to... Oh, is that somebody I know that's just come on? I was about to say, I hope to catch you in the next one, but... Who has just popped in? That Mr. Saturday Elf? Saturday Elf? Right. So that's it. Done and finished. I think we will end it there. We've got made some good progress this evening. So I will catch you everybody in the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Bye.